Hi, my name is edrxlib, this person here, and this video is about a library that has been developed using test blocks and that is very easy to test using test blocks. All the most important information about this package is in this page here. Let me show it in the browser. Here it is. And note that this paragraph says that Pict2e-lua is an uninteresting library that is being developed in an interesting way with test blocks. And this is what we are going to see, how I'm developing it and how it can be tested very easily. Note that this page has a block that says try it. It says that we need to run these two eepitch blocks here. This page has lots of links, so for example, if you click here, you get the definition of what is an eepitch block. And what we have to do is to copy this thing here to a buffer. I'm going to copy it to the temporary buffer, but I'm going to need a smaller font. So here, these bullets here are equivalent to the red stars. And so let me execute these two eepitch blocks. Remember that when I execute a line that starts with the red star, with F8, the rest of the line after the red star is treated as Lisp and executed as Lisp. And this usually is used to set up something, usually used to set up a target buffer. So these things here set up a target buffer running a shell. These two lines here make sure that I have the Debian packages that I need. This setenv is something weird that I'm going to explain later, but all the rest is standard. So here I'm going to clone this Git repository. And then the shell treats all these things as comments, but we can treat them as sexps that can be executed. And this one here shows the contents of the directory /tmp/Pict2e-lua. And we can see that it has some screenshots, readmes, some tag files, and so on. And this weird thing here that is a copy of my init file for Lua that I'm mainly going to use because the library that we are going to test uses some pretty printing functions that are defined here. So this expression here tells Lua to read the init file from this temporary directory here. We need this sexps here. It defines lots of functions, including this one here, find Pict2e-lua. So now this function is defined, and we can open these Lua files and run the tests in them. Here is one of these files. You can see here kind of index of the file, and you can see that some of these links here point to tests. For example, if we follow this link here, we go to a test block and we can execute this test block with a series of F8s. Note that the F8s create a target buffer running Lua here. So they create several data structures and they print these data structures in several ways. There's one thing that is very tricky, and this page with details explains it. Hopefully explains it well. The thing is that in some of the tests we need to show the PDF file and we need to run an mx command that is going to split the screen in this way and show the PDF file in this lower right window. And the command that does that is this etv here. So we have to define it in the right way. And the trick is that this header here contains two blocks of one-liners. This is the first one and this is the second one. And we need to execute all the sexps in the second one. I'm going to execute them with meta7 meta-e, that is equivalent to meta-e down. So all done. So now hopefully this function here is defined in the right way. And let me execute the last test in this file that calls this function etv. So the first part of the test is very easy, nothing special, it just sends comments to Lua. But then we have this line here that calls a class called show. And this class saves some tag code to tag file and run latex to compile that and to generate a PDF. And this is a bit tricky, and the important thing is that this takes several seconds to run, and we need to wait these several seconds. So if I send this line here to the Lua REPL, you can see that it takes a few seconds until it says blah 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 success. And now we can run this etv here, and it shows a drawing here with the bounding box in yellow, blah 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 blah. In this file here, the drawings are not very interesting. This is just the core of my library. So let me show how to generate this drawing here that I'm using in the screenshots. This one. This defun here defines the function A as a function that opens the first Lua file with the core definitions, and B is the function that opens the second Lua file with some extra classes and some stranger drawings. So let's execute B. We are in the second file here, and let's execute this test here. This one, Pict2e test2. So here we have a test block. It's quite big. It changes the preamble, it defines several functions, it uses some classes that are defined in this file, and so on. And then after printing the tag code, it has this line here that contains a show. If I execute this line, it takes a few seconds, it says success, and now we can show the PDF. And ta-da! This is the figure that I wanted to show. So that's it. Again, this is a library that is not interesting in itself, but I think that the way in which it can be tested, which is very similar to the way in which I'm developing it, is interesting in itself. So if you are interested in test blocks, please test this and send feedback. That's it. Bye.